Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today's video is a very fun one because today we're comparing Battlefield 2042 to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 to see what game is better / worse. Now, I just have to state up front that I think both of these games are actually pretty bad video games, and I have absolutely no bias or vested interest in making one game win over the other game. I'm going to go down a list of categories that I have created and talk about them, compare them, and give my most objective and unbiased opinion as possible for that selected category. Now, say Modern Warfare 2 wins in a category. Modern Warfare 2 will win a point. Another scenario that could possibly happen is maybe I can't decide what game is better than the other game in a particular category. In that case, both games will get a point. At the end of the video, the game with the most points in their respective categories will be considered the better game throughout all of history until the end of time. Carve it into a stone mountain wall for everyone to see. Obviously, this video is a 100% fact and not opinion. Just kidding. If you guys want to follow along in the comment section and kind of judge the game for yourself by category, I will be very interested to see your guys' responses. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I cannot thank you guys enough for the insane support you guys have shown me on the Modern Warfare 2 content. And have no fear, Battlefield people. Battlefield content is definitely coming. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's just jump right into it with an extremely appropriate category, release date. Now, obviously, Battlefield 2042 was in an abysmal state on release, and Modern Warfare 2 clearly wins in this category. So as of right now, it is 1-0 Modern Warfare 2. Stop the count, it's over. Just kidding, our second category, content. Now, some people might just say this category is perhaps unfair because Battlefield 2042 hasn't had all of its content come out, and Modern Warfare 2 just came out. But actually, funnily enough, I'd say Modern Warfare 2 has more content than Battlefield 2042 has, and the game just released. So that's 2-0 for Modern Warfare 2. And just to be absolutely clear moving forward, I am comparing Battlefield 2042's current state to Modern Warfare 2 right now. I'm not comparing the release state of Battlefield 2042 for any category other than the release state category. Now, with that being said, let us compare the gunplay and recoil of both games. So, in Modern Warfare 2, you have a fairly straightforward gunplay system. It's basically just Modern Warfare 2019's, but for whatever reason, they decided to jack up the visual recoil to levels that I've never seen in another game before. In 2042, you have essentially the same gunplay system, but with no visual recoil. So, I'm going to have to give the edge to Battlefield 2042 here, so that is 2-1 in favor of Modern Warfare 2 still. Now that we've done gunplay, I think a very appropriate category to move on to is, of course, the movement. Now, movement is a bit of a personal preference thing, but I'm going to take a look at both games' movement systems here and just explain sort of what you can do in the game, what you couldn't do, what my problems with them are. So let's start with Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2, I would say, definitely has some very slow movement. I definitely remember, even on the older Call of Duties, the game being faster. They removed a lot of the good stuff from Modern Warfare 2019, like slide canceling and bunny hopping, and generally the movement just doesn't take much skill whatsoever. Now, with that being said, you can still jump peek in Modern Warfare 2, albeit it is slow. You can drop shot, and I think there's this fast drop shot that may or may not be patched out of the game, but if that doesn't get patched out of the game, that's definitely some sort of skill gap within Modern Warfare 2's movement. The slide is largely useless, and the dolphin dive is basically a defensive tool. So that's how I would describe Modern Warfare 2's movement system. Now let's go over to 2042's. 2042, you can crouch spam. The strafe speed is surprisingly faster. You can bunny hop. You actually move faster, which I never thought I would say that when comparing Battlefield to a Call of Duty movement system. Both games have tac sprint. The difference is in Call of Duty, obviously it runs out quite quickly, and in Battlefield it actually lasts for an unlimited amount of time. So I'm going to give the edge here to Battlefield 2042's movement system, making the score all tied up 2-2. I feel as though 2042's movement system provides a higher skill ceiling and more options to use in actual combat. Moving on to the audio section. The audio section obviously includes things like, how's the footstep audio? Is it directionally good? Can you tell where people are coming from? Is it consistent? How do the weapons sound? Stuff like that. Let's get the very easy stuff out of the way first. I would say that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2's weapon audio is undeniably better than Battlefield 2042's. Now, the same cannot be said for footstep audio and consistency. So even without people using dead silence in Modern Warfare 2, I find that the directional audio and the footstep audio in this game is terrible. People will be shooting 10 feet away from you, and they'll sound like they're shooting 100 feet away from you. Whereas in Battlefield 2042, I feel like the audio is a lot better placed, and the footstep audio in Battlefield 2042 is honestly probably some of the best stuff about the entire game. Battlefield 2042's footsteps are placeable, consistent, and they really aid in gameplay readability. Modern Warfare 2's is just extremely lacking, inconsistent, and I'm going to give the edge to 2042 here in terms of the audio category because I value the gameplay readability that 2042's audio provides over Modern Warfare 2, making the score 3-2 in favor of Battlefield 2042. A little bit of a comeback here, but don't worry, a lot more categories to come, a lot more points up for grabs. Now, let's move on to a very important category, time to kill. Time to kill, or TTK, is a very personal preference category, but I do think you can make an argument that one is perhaps better balanced than the other. And I think when I play Battlefield 2042 and then play Call of Duty, you can definitely see that you have way more of a chance in Battlefield 2042 to perhaps play the game and turn a fight around that you're losing. In Call of Duty, it feels as though if you're not 100% perfect all the time, you're going to get shot in the side and the back and be instantaneously killed, even from great distance. In Battlefield, even in close quarters, it feels like the fights are more drawn out, and the game's time to kill is generally slower, and slower TTK generally allows for the better player to win those fights more consistently. And that is simply due to the fact that you have to aim on target for a longer amount of time, and it just allows more time to react, more time to actually play the fight out. So I'm going to give the edge in TTK to Battlefield. I think even if Call of Duty had Battlefield TTK, Call of Duty would still play completely fine. It would just be better. Because make no mistake, Battlefield's time to kill is still very fast. It's just not so fast that it feels like hardcore all the time. With that being said, moving on to an extremely important category, the maps. Now, I think this category is fairly obvious. Modern Warfare 2's maps aren't the greatest Call of Duty maps I've ever played, but Battlefield 2042's maps are absolutely the worst Battlefield maps I've ever played. So, really quick category, given the point to Modern Warfare 2, I don't think there's any debate. Jumping ahead to the performance category, how does the game run on people's systems? I think Modern Warfare 2 probably has the edge in this category, seeing as it's most likely the easier game to run, it's most likely the better optimized, and with 2042, they changed a bunch of stuff with the engine, 128 players, and they just really haven't optimized the game. I'm going to give the edge to Modern Warfare 2 here, again, tying the score up to 4-4. A bit of an interesting category here, crossplay balance / aim assist balance. Them being both crossplay games, they have to deal with the same challenges. They have to figure out how do we balance PC players playing against console players and vice versa. Do console players have a chance? Do console players have an advantage? Do PC players have an advantage? All this sort of stuff. So, being that they're both crossplay games, I feel as though that Modern Warfare 2 is clearly the game that has done a worse job. You can see this all over the internet. Everybody's complaining about aim assist. You can't go 5 seconds without someone complaining about aim assist. And I actually think, rightfully so, I think Call of Duty has done a terrible job balancing crossplay. And I believe with Battlefield's first crossplay attempt, they did a much better job. The aim assist in crossplay in Battlefield 2042 is a lot more balanced. You still have controller players that are good, able to easily kill PC players. I can speak from experience with this. I know a ton of very good controller players that play Battlefield that can easily, equally frag out with a PC player, no problem. And while that might be the case in Modern Warfare 2, the strength of the aim assist and the balance of it is undeniably worse in Call of Duty. So I'm going to give the edge to Battlefield 2042 here. So that makes the score 5-4 with a couple categories left. This is getting interesting. Seeing as both of these games have customizable weapon systems, I figured I would compare them. So this category is we're comparing the attachment systems and just what do I prefer, what system do I think is better. So let's get the easy stuff out of the way first. Both of these attachment systems require you to have some sort of downside on your attachments and some sort of upside on your attachments. An easy example is, let's say, the tactical compensator in Battlefield 2042. You gain weapon accuracy, but you lose recoil control. In Call of Duty, let's say you equip a red dot sight. You gain a better sight picture, but you lose ADS time. Now, where they differ is just kind of how they're set up. I think Battlefield 2042's attachment system makes a lot more sense, but it's still bad. Now, with that being said, that should tell you how bad Modern Warfare 2's attachment system is in my eyes. First of all, you have to use other weapons to unlock attachments for other weapons, which is a bizarre system that I dislike heavily. And on top of that, I think the downsides on the attachments in Modern Warfare 2 are just too heavy. For instance, in an extended magazine, you only gain 10 more bullets, but you literally lose ADS time, sprint to fire speed, and a slew of other incredibly important statistics. Whereas in Battlefield 2042, you might lose recoil control, you might lose some sort of rate of fire depending on what the ammo is, but I think that the positives and negatives are much more well balanced on Battlefield 2042. I'm actually going to give the edge to Battlefield 2042 with the attachment system here. I think it is just more simplistic and actually makes a lot more sense. And with that, the score is 6-4 with 2042 ahead. Moving on to the UI category, I think this category is very relevant considering the advancements with FPS UI and a bunch of opacity sliders and customizability and the menu navigation and all that stuff. I could sit here and gripe about, oh, Modern Warfare 2's menus are terrible, you have to go through 7 menus to go to the gunsmith system, or stuff like that. But I think both games' UIs, as of right now, are completely fine, and I don't have a problem with it. I see some critiques of Modern Warfare 2 saying, like, oh, it looks like they hired some artist off of, Etsy to do these little pop-ups that come on stream. I don't really care. I'm going to give a point to both games here, making the score 7-5. And last but certainly not least, skill-based matchmaking and engagement-oriented matchmaking. You cannot have a discussion comparing games and mention Call of Duty without mentioning skill-based matchmaking and engagement-oriented matchmaking. Now, with that being said, Battlefield 2042 does not have skill-based matchmaking or engagement-oriented matchmaking, so I don't feel as though it's fair to give Battlefield 2042 a point in this category or take away a point from Modern Warfare 2 or anything like that. I'm just going to leave the scores the same here. It ends Battlefield 2042 7, Modern Warfare 2 5. Now, you can make up your own mind as to whether or not Modern Warfare 2 having S-PWM is a positive or a negative. If it were up to me, I would say that it's definitely a negative. It makes the gameplay exhausting, annoying, and I just don't really think it's a generally great addition to the Call of Duty franchise. So yeah, that's it for this little comparison video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the subscribe button and like the video. Definitely comment down below. Again, you guys can go through all the categories and list your own opinions. I would love to see those. And join the Discord, follow your boy on Twitter, and I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. First link in the description. Drop it a follow. I'll see you guys later.